Hi. Sorry, it's really hot. This is pretty much the first video since the maiden voyage to Beaver Mines Lake. And I made a bunch of notes of certain things that need to get done to the van while I was there. You might have noticed in the opening shot, or you can actually see it right there, one of the water jugs. Why is it out of the van? I filmed that reason yesterday, and here it is. When it comes to the water station, it wasn't, I ran out during the Beaver Mines Lake trip, right? I ran out of water. I didn't. There was still, actually, it's right here. It's this one. Like, there's no, like, that's, yeah. That ain't empty, for sure. I wish I could actually see it. I wish these bottles were transparent. But anyways, I think I've come up with a solution for that. Obviously, what happened is that the hose just wasn't going down to the bottom, and it was, wherever it wasn't getting water anymore, right? Pump was sucking air. So I switched over to the second tank, I think, for a couple things I needed in the morning that we left, and that was it. So what I've done now is I found a really skinny piece of PVC pipe over at Canadian Tire for like $2. Made the hole in the yellow part bigger. And then I cut this tip off of the nozzle that came with the bottle, and then I've got the PVC pipe running all the way down and the tip of the hose right there. So this will keep it straight all the way to the bottom, in theory, and I shouldn't have that problem. Excited to find out. So that's the new solution, so I can actually use all the water that are in the tanks. Another thing that I noticed is the trim that ran along the top, which is one of the last things I did on the interior. I didn't put in a screw right near the rear door, so going down that gravel road, that thing was whack, 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 sounded like stuff was rattling loose. I noticed on the way out of the campground that that's what that was. One screw in the very far end, and that has solved that problem. No problem. Anyway, moving on. The trip just sort of solidified the point. Door's gonna slam. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Usually that garage door just bang when both doors are open. Anyway, solidified the point that I need storage in the van, right? Like, that's an obvious point, but the trip with those big black bins that I have, shuffling them around in the living space, well, not a nightmare, wasn't ideal. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna turn this dresser into storage in the van. Like I said, I've mentioned it before, but this was one of my grandparents' old dressers. And I've kind of been carting it around with me for the last couple years. It was Brooklyn's very first dresser, but she's got a more, easily manageable one where she is now. And I mean, this is solid wood construction, and the drawers are even like, the slides are just built in. Pull one of these out. Yikes. Right? Like, there's no actual mechanical slides. It's just wood slots. So I mean, you could fix, if you were to fixing this dresser up, you could probably just hit this with some wax, and then it would allow them to slide a little bit easier, and that's fine and dandy, but we're not doing that. So we're gonna use soft closed drawer slides on them, and we're gonna use 3 of them. And we're putting it, I'll show you in a second, into that old TV stand, entertainment unit, whatever you want to call it. But I wanted to get a jump start on this video. Like these videos now, this isn't going to be a one-day sort of entry into the vlog. It's going to be a series of days, because it will take multiple days to get this done. I won't even have the slides till next week, as an example. But look at that. We got a nice color scheme to match what's already happening in the van. I already did this one. I've got another one going on over there. All right, so this is the process, right? Just remove the handle, which is down here. This only has 1 coat on it. I believe I did 3 on the other drawer, so we'll top that up right away here for this one. That's another reason I kind of wanted to get these drawers done now while the weather is nice, because it's supposed to rain this weekend. When more humidity gets into the air, paint takes longer to dry. Although I'm in the garage, so it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. Let's move Brooklyn's stroller out of the way. Huge shout out to Mike and Courtney for donating their old stroller to me. That has been awesome. Thank you so much. Here, move this. So this is where it's going, is into this entertainment unit. So what's the best way for me to explain this to you? Give me 1 second. Oh, my toe. Okay, so this is gonna be a quick and dirty sort of explanation. Can you even see the floor? Okay, so this is gonna sit in the van directly behind the driver's seat. These are still those 2x7s left over from the wood. I keep calling it the wood structure, so that's what it is. That came with the van. These I'm going to use as legs. Let's just tip this up. They're gonna come out from the studs that I already have in the van. This is going up here. This is obviously very rough. And then the other 2 drawers are gonna go in here. But the drawers, as you can probably see, are actually wider than this. So this side, I want to keep the same because I think the house battery is going to fit in this space really nice. This support beam here, I'm just going to move over and attach with new drills, new holes, construction adhesive. This whole thing is going to get hit with the construction adhesive because that hasn't let me down yet. And then this is going to get wrapped in the marble vinyl that we have to match the water station. So that is the plan and that is the goal with this entry in the vlog. So I have no idea when I'm going to get to it next, but you won't have to wait that long. You don't see those too often anymore. Whereas I'm getting to get used to this. I've also decided that with this, so this is the back of the whole entertainment unit, right? I'm going to, well, this board has to get removed completely. It'll be useless because like I said before, I'm making these legs wider apart from each other, so I'll have to put a new brace on, and we'll use the new brace. That's just too much ghost face for me. We'll use the new brace on the other side, and this will actually end up be the front, becoming the front of this little kitchen cabinet, I guess. It works really well because when this is in place, this angled corner here leaves a space right here where battery cables and wires and stuff can run up through. So worked out well, and I don't have to like saw off any of the lengths of it. It worked out quite nicely. It's not going to stay that way, is it? And just a quick little update. I just tagged the ends of the supports white. You can't really see. Oh yeah, I can a little bit there. It looks weird like this, but the rest of it, where it fades off and you can't see the white, we're not going to see that anyway. This is literally just going to be where the drawer is. So I figured I might as well make it the same white as the handles. Okay, just a quick update for today instead of any sort of build video, but I've got that entertainment unit apart, and I have spray painted the pieces that will be visible white. You'll notice this one looks a little weird, but that's because that part you're not going to see. That's where the drawers will be. I mean, I might see it at the odd occasion, but I'm trying to save paint. I don't really care. That's where that's at today. Drawer slides are supposed to be here by 10 p.m. tonight. So thanks, Amazon. That was a lot faster than I thought. That's also obnoxious time for stuff to be delivered. Either way, this thing should be getting put together this weekend. Or surprise, they were here on the front step already. So here we go. Whoops, can't see nothing. Drawer slides, I love this. I just pulled them out. It says right on it, high quality slide. Better friggin' be. They're like $20, so I don't know about that. Marketing. And I just got to point this out. It says on them, I didn't do any research on these, number one, so this is really just like, but on the packaging, it says Germany. On the UPC, it says, oh. Anyways, it says made in China. Everything's made in China. Russian parts, American parts, all made in Taiwan. Name that movie. It's hot and sweaty today. This is some work. Drawers, not easy. I can't even go into detail about it because I'm not gonna have anybody hold me responsible for their F up. But we got the first one in, very temporarily. Well, not temporarily, but it's in. Pulls out, just fine-ish. You can see that these are kind of wiggling still, but that's okay. It's just mounted in with 3 screws to the baseboard that I put in when I put all the rest of the trim in. But yeah, it functions just fine. But getting it all like lined up with the end of these boards and the height, so there's space below and space above for the entertainment unit that still needs to go up there. I mean, it just takes some common sense thinking. And again, a second set of hands will probably make it easier. But no, it's going really well. My big concern is I think I'm gonna end up biting myself in the butt, is that I've construction adhesived it just like I've done everything else in the van so far. I'm hoping I've wiped the slides clean enough where that hasn't, where it's seeped through after I screwed it in, because the last thing I want is for those slides to seize up. So then I'm just gonna put one more trim piece on the front here. It's currently drying. I painted it white. Sorry, that's my hand in the way. That's to help give it some structure here in the front. And then the entertainment unit, which I've started the process on, will be getting mounted to the tops of the 2x7s. So I figure I better document some of it just in case like I go senile or something and forget what I did. But so working on the other two drawers now. That one over there is done. It's not mounted to the side yet. It's just got the slides on the drawer. Then I remembered I actually wanted the bigger one to be on the bottom, so I'm doing it. So the first things first is you gotta separate the slide, right, from itself. This just kind of goes on here. Oh, how embarrassing. There, click, right? So that's the actual slide part. So the first thing you gotta do is mount this one to the drawer and getting it straight. Can be tricky depending on whether or not your wood is straight. I used the inside groove of the old slide, used my straight edge, pushed it down, and then when this was still attached to this, there we go, it's getting easier and easier, pushed it up into the slide all the way along, and then I put these first two screws in. And now the next step is I remove these two screws, hit the back of it with some construction adhesive, and then I can line it up with the holes that the screws made. Sorry, that was scary to vacuum moved on its own. Things are coming along. This is going a lot faster than I thought it would. It's still the same day, but this is where we're at. How much can you see? Right, so it's the best way to explain it. So these are working currently, right? Ooh, soft go. Oh, there's the soft close. Again, huge pain to install drawer slides, but they're on there. Here, I hit construction adhesive along the seam here, and then I added my own screws there and there, and you can see the original holes from where the factory bolts went. Factory bolts, I guess, but yeah, and then this whole unit's gotta go into the drawer, or on top of the drawer, that's all the way over there. So, happy accident or ugly mistake? I don't know. I just threw it in here to see how it was gonna look. And yes, it's not straight. And there's a reason. I mean, well, the main reason is I didn't measure properly. That's fine. It's easy to fix. This bottom part, it's just a couple screws holding it in right now. I could easily slide it over to line it up. But are we okay with it? Another reason I don't want to do that is because then if I do that, there's going to be this weird amount of space right here. I mean, the whole point of this is that normal life sucks. And part of normal life is counters that line up. I even put in the no slide around things. The drawer slides are showing their Chinese heritage. It might also be the Canadian carpenter, or a combination of the two. Battery's gonna go here. I'm also going to take a part off of that other IKEA dresser, the black one, and I want to build a wall here, kind of to cubby the battery in. Like, it'll be strapped in, but if I build a wall here that also extends up a ways behind the seat, then I can mount the fuse box, my master on-off switch, whatever else I might need. But yeah, I don't know, maybe I just... Anyway, that's it for today. It is Miller time, or more appropriately, lucky time. I don't have any lucky. Oh, it's a sad time. Well, I gotta go figure this out. Okay, like usual, I've sort of lost track of which day I'm on in terms of building this cabinet. But I've got another 2x7 chunk here lined up. I've measured it, and I'm gonna cut that off with the circular saw, and I'm gonna paint it white. And this was my thought. I'm probably leaving this staggered, so people that don't like stuff out of place probably gonna start to lose their mind the more they see it. But this is probably how it's gonna stay. But this space here kind of was like, what can I do with that? My first thought was I'll install another, like a fourth tiny little drawer that I can pull out. But when I have that other 2x7 on the end here to create that space, once I saw it, when you take into account how much space, where are they? The drawer slides take up. The drawer itself will probably end up being about this wide. So all I'm gonna do is cut that, sand it, paint it, put it here, again, for added structural support here, and a mount to the back stud, and then it'll just be a cubby. And I'm thinking maybe like for shoes, slippers, that sort of thing. And I'll probably end up having to put like a little front track just between the two boards here to keep stuff from sliding out while I'm driving. So that's what I'm doing today. Okay. I think we might be done, but she's in, it's mounted. I'm still going to add, and I'm not gonna bother filming it, because whatever, but I'm gonna add a couple more of these brackets at the back at certain. I don't know where I cut that off. I hit the volume key on the phone and that stops it from recording. I don't know. I'm gonna put a couple more of these brackets on the back at key points to help anchor it to the studs that I put behind the wall panels. But other than that, that's pretty much it. These, I don't know if that's just because they're cheap, but they're a pain to get back on when you take them off. But they do, the soft close function does work. Hey-oh, just to be a little rough with them. I don't know if that's because I messed them up, or they're cheap, or they got a little cement in them. Who knows? This right here is attached to the edge, right? So, I did not check to see if the battery would fit in this space first. Looking at it, I think it might, although now I'm kind of doubting that. And I've already decided what I'm gonna do with this space because the paint messed up on me, but whatever. It's character. Spice rack right here. I've got leftover scrap from the studs, and I've got some old like round, what do you call those? I don't know, round pieces of wood that I'm gonna use as a brace, and it's gonna be orange and white, and I measured it with a couple of spices already. Not sure if I'm gonna film it, but I'll run it down once it's done, but that's where it's going to be, and I'll have all my spices. I can have, I think, 7 of them lined up there, so that's pretty cool. I was really excited when I kind of was like, maybe I'll just do this. So that's the next step for that. But as for the kitchen cabinet, we have a kitchen cabinet. Now I gotta stock the shelves, because they bare, but we got lots of stuff to put in there. It's gonna be a mix of like my camping gear, kitchenware, and food. So that is an inclusion of that dresser of my grandma's, which is super cool. There are still, can you see it out there? Oh boy, there's still 2 drawers down there. And I've got ideas on where they could go. So the whole thing, well, not the whole thing, because the framework probably won't get used. Well, who knows? But the drawers, so all 5 drawers are being used. I got ideas. But yeah, so I know this was a little different. I didn't do so much step by step about how I did it. I just kind of gave you updates as it was going along, and it turned out great. Oh, this is one other thing. I put a little piece of wood back here to add some structure to the outside, and then I was able to put the vinyl wrap, which I guess is the first time you're seeing that as well, down. I think that kind of gives it a nice aesthetic. I still think this is gonna end up driving people crazy, but I like it. I think it complements the inside of my brain, or the inside of my head, which is my, whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna end this one here. We got this done just in time. We are going on our second camping trip with Lindsay and Sadie this coming weekend. So lots more fun. Hopefully the weather stays nice. Crib game number 2. Really looking forward to it. So we will see you guys in that one. Until then, just be happy, be creative, be yourselves, and be positive. See you later.